let's see what the balance of Scripture has to say about this issue, okay? I'm going to do it all in one night. Here we go. Number one, gambling is inadvisable because it disregards personal stewardship. Maybe you want to circle that word stewardship, because that is the key thought here. Stewardship. Now, what do we mean by that? That means being wise and making wise decisions with God, with what God has blessed you with. Okay? For example, if you get a brand new car, 2025, beautiful car, everything's nice, and you decide to go mud running with it, okay? You're just beating it up like crazy. Then after that, you decide to take it to the demolition derby at the county fair, okay? Just months later, all right? How many of you know you have not been a wise steward of that brand new car, okay? So that's an extreme. Now, let's bring it home. God has blessed all of us. Every good and perfect gift comes from the Father, the Scripture says, right? So everything I have and everything I own, well, I worked for that. Well, God still provided it, okay? So what God has blessed me with, and by the way, let's not forget this Scripture. It's in your notes. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it. So it all belongs to God, okay? Are you with me so far? So not only am I being a good steward with what I have, if I'm being real, I'm trying to be a good steward with what He has. Does that make sense? That includes your money. That includes everything that God has given you and blessed you with. So letter B, people who honestly dedicate themselves to God will also recognize that they must properly steward all that they possess. Part of your God-given responsibility as a child of God is to be a proper steward of what God has given you. And quite honestly, the reason why most of us in here have never won $1 million is because you would not know how to be a good steward of $1 million. And if you don't believe me, Google later, not now, but Google people that have won the lottery, and in 7 to 10 years, they are worse off financially than before they bought the ticket. And we see this time and time and time again. Why? Because to whom much is given, much is required. And God is so good that He will not give me what I cannot handle. What He gives me is everything that I need and everything that I can steward. Does that make sense, everybody? And can I remind you that even secular businesses will not tolerate anyone who gambles with resources that have been put in their trust. And believe me, here's the deal. There's a rush to winning. I'm convinced that the worst thing that somebody can do when they gamble is win. Not lose, win. Because what happens, that just builds, that just feeds the rush. It's like, I can do it again. And it's like a drug. You need another fix. And that's why you go through all this stuff. And that's why you risk what God's given you to try to get some kind of rush, whether that be in buying a scratch off, betting on a horse, or whatever. So those who gamble really put themselves in a bad place as far as God's ownership of everything in this earth.